لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا صراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. We thank Almighty Allah for bringing us together to witness today's program. We pray that all the discussions that we'll be having today, we pray that may it be benefit to us and may it be benefit to the hospital and to mankind in general. We pray that by the end of the program, we will have one thing or the other to take home as a lesson and we will have full benefit from it.
Wasting much time, I will call on Dr. Mr. Idris Garba to start his presentation.
Protocol. However, I will recognize the presence of the Chief Medical Director, ably represented by the Deputy SIMA, Dr. Abdullahi, Dr. Surya Musa. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Our topic for today's presentation is focused on patient safety using a tool developed by us in the department. The safety is a theme chosen for this year's World Radiography Day. Even though safety is a broad term, in the radiology department we use radiation to produce excellent images for diagnosis. However, this radiation is associated with unwanted health challenges such as cancer induction. That's why we focus our attention on radiation safety. Although our equipment that we use in the department are modern and also very dose efficient. However, as imaging scientists, as radiographers, we do not relent on the dose efficient system. We went further to develop a system that will help us to have unnecessary exposure that may not contribute to diagnostic information, which is tagged as the radiation dose management system that allows patient radiation dose to be tracked and managed for dose justification and optimization. We use different imaging modalities to produce diagnostic images. However, computed tomography scanners are believed to be associated with high radiation exposure. Yes, there is no doubt that CT has changed clinical practice by producing excellent images required for diagnosis and intervention. However, the dose incurred by CT contributes up to 62% of the total exposure from diagnostic examination involving the use of ionizing radiation. Technical parameters may not make so much sense to the referring physicians. Therefore, we went further to digest the information for them so they can be able to comprehensively understand what the dose to the patient is all about. For example, based on this template, which is designed for adult brain CT, exposure from brain CT single series is equivalent to the dose of 100 chest X-ray, which is also equivalent to the exposure to 10 months exposure to natural background radiation. So we believe with this information, referring physician to take a decisive decision on whether to request or not request for CT procedure. This will help us to come out unnecessary exposure that may not contribute in patient's management, and of course, in the end, better patient safety. Now, this radiation management system is currently being tried at American Regional Hospital, and the trial will be carried out for 5 months. Of course, Institutional Research Board has given approval for the study to be carried out. Now, breast CT was selected because it's the most common CT procedure performed in the imaging department, and the trial of this radiation dose management system takes place in 3 stages. Pre-implementation of the radiation dose management system to know where we are, and then pilot study, and of course then the main study. Prior to the implementation of the radiation dose management system, the dose value being given for the adult breast CT was found to be above the reference level, which guides the radiographers to know when the exposure is high, and then the protocol is optimized. Therefore, the protocol was modified and piloted, and the dose was found to be drastically reduced, and no image quality difference was noted pre and post implementation of the radiation dose management system, with so much reduction in radiation exposure. This has been verified. The implementation of the radiation dose management system, the radiation exposure was noted to be on the high side, although data standardized. During the pilot study, we can see spike for just a few patient scans, which were believed are patients that were scanned with all protocol. And thereafter, the radiation dose significantly gone down, and then beta normalized. Now, during the pilot study, now the radiographers are now getting used to the radiation dose management system, and you could see how lowered and standardized the exposure has been. Yes, we noted a spike somewhere because sometimes we use all protocol when patient cannot be scanned. The same thing with the DLP. The line plot is telling us prior to the implementation of the dose management system, there was no standard. The DLP was so heterogeneous, meaning patients were scanned without a particular pattern. For example, some were scanned from vertex to the base of the skull, some were scanned from the vertex to the cervical region, included maybe L2, L3, some were scanned even down to the sternal notch. So there was no particular pattern of scan and no standardization. So in the end, patients were unnecessary, and some of these exposures are not well justified. However, when we began to implement the radiation dose management system, still there were heterogeneous exposures, meaning the radiographers were struggling to find their tool to know how to use the template and also the protocol very well. And thereafter, during the main study, the dose was becoming, or is becoming, more homogeneous. Of course, we noted a spike somewhere, when perhaps a strong justification is allowed. Maybe the patient is likely to have cervical spine injury, and therefore the scan length was extended to cover that, which is allowed. So, an International Day of Radiology.
Thank you very much, Mr. Idris Garba. For those who may not know, Mr. Idris Garba is a senior radiographer. He's an honorary CT radiographer at American Regional Hospital. He's passionate about dose optimization and radiation safety, and he's also a lecturer at the Department of Radiography, Bayero University, Kano, and also
of the radiology department of AKTH. Then admission into medical college, the journey from medical college to AKTH, was medical school, then the residency training in radiology, then the postgraduate degrees in radiology, then the training in radiography, and then we should also discuss what an ideal radiologist or radiographer is, then the roles of radiologists and radiographers in patient care. Okay, so as you can see from this, it's not a straight journey, it's a turbulent one, very extensive journey. From a classroom to becoming a medical director or a radiographer. So the journey is actually a very challenging journey. There are so many exams, as we know, in medical school. So many, and you need to pass those exams before you can proceed to the next level. However, finally the effort is worth it if you can endure. A medical career should not be just embarked lightly, definitely, as I said before, it's an extensive and very intensive training. And also the training begins from a university and it continues at a clinical level in the hospital. So radiologists and radiographers need to be constantly learning and developing their skills because there is constant changing of the imaging advancement. As we know, always, most of the time, new imaging systems are being developed. So medical students and young doctors may not need to decide on whether they will become radiologists or radiographers at the beginning. Sometimes we need to digest what a specialty is before you can embark on the specialty, and also what the life of a radiologist is. So you need to understand all this before you can decide whether you want to continue with that career or you want to follow a different one. So the role of a young medical graduate correct can be a general practitioner at the beginning, then based in the community and dealing with patients every day, as we know our colleagues are doing in medicine, surgery, and other specialties. And so, then to become a radiologist, whether an interventional or diagnostic radiology, or a surgeon operating at the specialist hospital through working in the laboratory, you can decide to become a lab doctor. So, medical students and young doctors generally, AKHS was, okay, so this is just a brief history of radiology department. AKHS was founded in 1988 from a local hospital. Before it was just a cottage hospital, which was later transformed to become a teaching hospital in 1988. So the radiology department was first established around 1990 through the private project. The first radiographer in the department is Mr. Charles Ozuku, which joined the department. So, just after they started, they were later sponsored by AKTH to undergo residency training at UCH Ibadan and UITH Ilorin, respectively. So accreditation for residency training proper radiology commenced with the sabbatical leave of Professor A.O. Ogushende from UCH Ibadan through the effort of Jose Kalori when he was there as a resident. So he made efforts to invite him so that he can come at his sabbatical so that the young radiology department can start growing. So, and this was approved by the CMD at that time in the person of Professor S.S. Wali. Later, other consultants also joined the department in the person of Professor A.M. Tabari, Professor Kabir Isiaku, which came up with the the Tamaman and the Ogoshini to form a team to start pursuing the accreditation processes. This was around 2003 and 2004. So full accreditation was received for both colleges around 2005. And so far, so good, 17 years on now from the first accreditation, more than 15 sets of fellows were produced. And this set is virtually almost every year we produce a set of fellows. So, still the first set of residents at that moment, the person of the Joseph Caroline and Co. at that were the first to graduate, to become fellows after obtaining the accreditation. To the latest, which is Dr. Isa Muhammad Asku, who just recently passed their exam. So they are the base of the pyramid.
Particularly the last lecture. I like the way the presenter carried the whole crowd. And everybody can attest that it was quite motivating because we kept clapping. But you see, Mr. Presenter, you made me remember so many things about the radiology department. Probably I will start with the not so good story. You know, the radiology department has always been a friend to me because we rely so much on radiology to take some decisions. And in one of such events, my registrar called me that we had an unidentified baby. First question I asked him, how did you know it's unidentified? He said the patient came with an ultrasound. I was like, I said, okay, send her to our radiology department to repeat the scan so that we have a second opinion. He now said, actually, it was done in AJTH. I said, that's not true. And why it was a bit difficult for me to take a decision at that time was because the husband happens to be my friend and a colleague in this hospital. Even though that became a blessing at the end of the day. And another positive for me, we can say, okay, I don't want to start this thing over a weekend. We'll start on Monday. They kept pushing me that no, they cannot wait till Monday. After all, you see, this thing is a monster. So I summoned the team. We're not even on call. We commenced, and within some hours, she has expelled a healthy baby. Why did I give this story? You see, Mr. Presenter, you made mention that sometimes physicians come to you, especially when they see what they are not expecting. Please don't take that lightly. Anytime a colleague of yours raises some doubt concerning a statement you give out, listen to that doubt and listen attentively. By the time you put your heads together, you will probably find out that you offer the best service to that patient. And that is any radiological investigation you do outside the hospital, I cannot guarantee you. And when they ask me, I tell them that, you see, if you do a radiological investigation in AKTH, and when I'm not satisfied, I can call the radiologist and we can discuss. I may have to go there while the test is being done. And that not only gives confidence to me, it also gives the patient the confidence that, yes, this hospital is working as a team. Because you see, the results you give are very, very important. Sometimes they are life, you take life determining decisions. decisions based on what you submit to the clinician. So you are very, very important pivot in the management of patients, right from the beginning of medicine. And now with the advance in technology, your relevance is becoming more and more and more and more significant. There are so many things that before, what we do is, oh, we're not sure, so let's open and see. Then we do what we call open and close. And it's very common in surgery, it's very common in ONT. You have a patient with acute abdomen, you don't precisely know what is causing the acute abdomen. You go, subject the patient to anesthesia unnecessarily, and you come out and you say, actually, we didn't see anything. But now, that incidence is significantly reduced because of radiology. Because our people, when I say our people here, I mean the Hausa community, especially those, the majority local people. We have this belief that some people have this gift of seeing what normally, ordinarily people don't see. And that's why they believe in going to soothsayers to see for them what ordinarily normal human beings don't see. Now, that is how they regard radiologists in our practice. And if you engage them, they will tell you, even the white man has his soothsayer. You will go, the soothsayer will say you are pregnant, and you are going to deliver a male child, and you will deliver a male child.
Good morning, everybody. I'll start on the existing protocols. I would like to thank our two presenters today for this enlightening presentations. And I would like to thank the founding fathers of the Department of Radiology. I remember Dr. Marcus Nono very well. And I would like to congratulate the department on this auspicious occasion of the International Day of Radiology and World Radiography Day. I'm sorry we have to leave, but on behalf of the management of Amin Kano Teaching Hospital, I would like to thank everybody for coming. I wish you successful celebrations as we continue. Thank you very much.
Baby. So please, in such situations, even the referring physicians, there's need for them to buy time. There is always what we call buying time. Okay? When you have a difficult situation that is difficult for you to make a decision, you can always buy a day or two. Okay? Look for senior colleagues, let them rescan, okay? Buy time, okay? Discuss, okay? Because most of the problems we face from clinicians is that they just sit in the comfort of their offices and send for scans, okay? Either MRI or CT or ultrasound. But when you send the results to them, in situations where they need to take critical decisions, they don't want to come. They will just take the patients into the theater. It's when they operate and the patient died. They said the radiologist that misguided them. Okay, but that is not the case. Whenever you have the time, you should show some degree of, concern to your patients, especially when taking very, very critical decisions. So I urge the residents and other colleagues, physicians that are here, when you send your patients and you see a result that you are contemplating upon, please go an extra mile to come for discussion so that we look at the integrity of the report. If it needs to be done again, we can repeat the results, the examination. Because I remember in some instances, especially those maybe in surgery and sometimes even O&G, when we have such results, they come back and sometimes we repeat the scan with them while they are there. They see it themselves. we do it together so that they can see and affirm what we had seen before they take a decision. Because if those scans were done maybe by a junior registrar and he didn't consult his senior registrar, or even the consultant is not aware, there is possibility of that error, especially if the residents are overworked. And you know, in this kind of system, especially in AKTH, this is a place where doctors and other health professionals are overworked. Okay? I can tell you, yesterday we had more than 30 CT scans. And I had to tell my residents that, look, let's take a break. These ones are not emergencies. All the emergencies we can pass, but then the other ones, let's continue tomorrow. Because when you are stressed, you make mistakes, okay? So please, I think this is my take on what he has mentioned. But as I said, please always go an extra mile for your patient. Thank you very much.
Record straight because this presentation might go online and students might use it actually for reference purposes. I think the first scanner installed at the AKTH is not 2 slides, it's 1 slide CT scanner. It's 1 slide. Yeah. So it's going to have the record. Secondly, residency program, if I could remember vividly, did not actually start in 2005 because I came to AKTH in 2006. I think I was around one organization in terms of sabbatical and then organized for the accreditation process. So I think it happens 2006, 2007, around that time, but can't be 2005. So I think just to put a straight because it's really something that is important and people might actually want to reference. Thank you.
Also thank the Gateway Department of Human Communications results for making the presentation more sumptuous and very comfortable. And the chairman for making all the logistics happen. On behalf of the entire Department of Radiology and Human Communications results, and everyone that have come for the International Day of Radiology and World Radiography Day 2022. We thank you all and we hope to meet again in 2023. But we still have additional programs. I think tomorrow we have a radio talk, on Thursday. And on Saturday we have Sunday we have a dinner also. So all are invited. We thank everyone for coming and the closing prayers by Mr. Charles.
We should always repeat on issues that bring us together than issues that divide us apart. As we are living, we are not departing for the presence, bring us back to the presence. Amen.
Today looks like a wonderful day to you. I can see you wearing a cap with a logo on it and a shirt like a uniform.
Yes.
Can you please tell us what you're celebrating today?
Yes, today is an important day for us. Actually, today is 8th November. So every year we celebrate this day. That is on 8th November because of an important event that happened in medicine, which is the discovery of X-ray by accident by one German physicist by name William Röntgen in the year 1895. That is more than 120 years today.
We've heard from other colleagues that they do X-rays, the radiographers do the X-rays, the radiologists interpret to aid in diagnosis and treatment of certain medical conditions. So, sir, can you please tell us your name and what you do?
So I'm Dr. Ahmed
I'm a senior registrar in the Department of Radiology.
Okay.
So this week I'm posted to the film reporting unit of the Radiology Department together with Dr.
Sir?
You can see.
Yes,
I'm
Dr. Mashud Hadi Walibi, a registrar with the Department of Radiology.
So what I can see you people looking at things, I don't know what you're looking at. So can you please tell us what this is?
Okay, so these are radiographs that were derived from patients sent to the radiology department. Usually we receive requests from other colleagues in the clinics or from the wards.
This is the request?
Yes, this is the request we usually get. So from the point of entry into the radiology department, the request card will be screened, and the records officers will usually take down the information and register the patient, and then they will hand over the request form to the radiographers to do the specified exams. We have several examinations that we can perform in the department, such as X-rays. Usually,
see, this is a head.
Yes, this is a skull X-ray, and then we have a chest X-ray there. So when the radiographers acquire the images, they send to us for to read and then generate a report, so that the patient will then in turn get the feedback and send back to the referring physician for further management.
So you are celebrating the day, that's why you are wearing uniform color of shirt, same design and everything.
Exactly.
So we heard from Dr. Ahmed that the referring physician sent the request and the radiographers do screen the request cards, because some patients do not request some investigations. So they do screen if it means they collaborate with the radiologist to look at how they go about the procedure, how to help the patient. Does the patient require this investigation or not? They join heads together to get a solution to the problem. If a patient doesn't need it at all, they send the patient back with a note to the referring physician to tell him that according to their own professionalism, their post, what they do in their department, this is what they think is best for the patient.
This is where we give them drafted copies of the result. From here, we now move them to the reception for collection. As you can see on the screen of my computer, the drafted copies, these are the soft copies.
Okay,
so after we do now, we give them back to sign.
Okay, they look at
signing,
it.
They now take it to.
Okay, they look at it if there is any correction.
Exactly. They now bring them back.
Okay.
For correction.
Okay. You people are doing a great job there. I can see your table is so filled with X-ray jackets, even the floor.
We do our best.
You do your best. That's great. Happy World Radiography Day and International Day of Radiology. Let's go to the Director of Radiology Department. Let's hear from you.
Welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, welcome.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
How is the celebration going?
Well, we are just done with the lectures, trying to enlighten the public with regards to what's the essence of the day's celebration, which entails letting people know how X-rays were discovered, which is the mainstay of the practice in medicine, so to say.
Okay.
Because with the discovery of X-rays, now X-ray is not only used for diagnosis, you still use it for treatment, in spite of all the dangers that are involved.
Thank you. So you are trying to let the public know that it is not all about danger. It has importance,
which cannot be waved aside. Because currently, with the trend of events happening in the practice of medicine these days, any person who was present in the lecture will realize the fact that at least radiographers, radiologists, the hospital cannot do without them, because it's the thing that somebody will say, like a soothsayer, you see what is happening inside, which cannot be seen from outside.
That's good.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Happy World Radiography Day.
And continuation with the celebration, that will be visit to schools to enlighten the young
ones that are coming up.
Okay. So that somebody may decide from the onset, when he's still young, whether to toe the same line or not.
Or not.
Yes.
As you know, the International Day of Radiology and the World Radiography Day are celebrated concurrently every year on the 8th of November, which marks the day that X-rays were discovered worldwide by the renowned German physicist Konrad Röntgen in 1895, 8th November. So that's why this day is chosen as the day for the celebration of World Radiography Day and International Day of Radiology, to remember him and the contributions he has made to medical imaging, because it was his discovery that has led to the development, technological development we are seeing in the field of radiology and radiography today. To honor this day, we reflect back, and see how medical imaging generally has developed from 1895 to date, which is virtually over 120 something years now. And we also see how much advancements were made in the field of research and technological development. Because as you know, radiology is dynamic. Every day we have new machines, every day we have new equipment, and every day things are changing. From that date to today, so many developments have been made. So we present scientific papers and research in the field of radiology for the development of ourselves and also our education. We conduct lectures, and present researches, papers, and what developments have been achieved in that aspect. No, the lectures virtually involves only radiologists and the radiographers, but other invitees, other medical personnel,
since they are the
physicians, laboratory scientists, cardiologists, and others that benefit from our imaging.
Because they do refer patients to your department.
Yes, they do refer patients to us, and generally we would like to share what our research findings are with them, and then to show them how much we have advanced in terms of patients' care through medical imaging. Other things we do, we conduct sports, we do social interactions, we do several other things. So generally, these are the things we do and celebrate. We also do what we call medical outreach. Programs. Sometimes we conduct free screening programs, like in women for breast cancer, and then we also conduct other similar things that will assist in patient care, generally for free.
Just for that, to help celebrate that day.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Happy World Radiography Day and International Day of Radiology.
Thank you very much.
Today, being the 8th of November, we are celebrating the discovery of X-ray by Sir William Konrad Röntgen. To commemorate the discovery, who discovered X-ray on 8th November in the year 1895. So we are celebrating him today to commemorate with the discovery that made our existence as a department possible.
Apart from radiology department people, the radiologists, the radiographers. We've heard from them why they celebrate this day. The significance of their celebration is as a result of a accidental discovery of X-rays by Wilhelm Conrad Röntgen. That's why they celebrate this particular day, 8 November. The significance of the celebration, as said by the professionals in the department, is for awareness, to educate the public, and for career guidance of other young individuals that are coming up. So as you heard from Dr. Adamu Abba, he said the radiographers acquire their images and they use the images to interpret and make diagnosis for patients. And the people they mentioned are the nurses, hello, and the doctors, and the radiographers as well. Thank you all for celebrating with us. Happy World Radiography Day. Happy World International Day of Radiology. Thank you. Happy World Radiography Day.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الكريم. اللهم بارك لنا في هذا الإيفنت. اللهم يسر لنا قلوبنا ويسر لنا صدورنا وقنا شر ما أمرنا. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
President, good evening. So actually this is an event that we usually hold annually to celebrate the International Day of Radiology. Actually for 2 years this event has not happened due to the COVID issue, but we thank God that we are holding the program this year. So, and usually this event gives us opportunity for radiologists and radiographers from various centers in Kano to come together, interact and also socialize. So, on behalf of the Chairman Association of Radiologists in Nigeria, Kano State Branch from Lambata, I welcome all of you and wish us a happy International Day of Radiology.
We used to celebrate the day together with our colleagues in radiography. This is commendable, unlike in other places. Even though we have learned this year, most of the centers they have celebrated together. So this is commendable, and I'm happy for that. And I want to urge us to continue to celebrate the day together, and we should not consider unionism, but we should consider the patient first. I'm happy with this year's theme, which is radiologists and radiographers working together to help patients. So I want to thank the organizing committee.
Can we show them some love, appreciate them, it's not easy.
Please, all our part one, please, if you know you pass your part one, please come out. Please come. So, these are some of our part one, that passed part one, but there are many, about more than 15. Wow. So Ahmad Bashir, Dr. Ahmad Bashir is about to go to part two examination next April, inshallah. Dr. Mukhtar Ibrahim Ningi, Dr. Dede, yes, Dr. Hussein Dede, Dr. Tikau, Dr. Garba Ibrahim, Dr. Ahmad Pai, Dr. Hadiza, Dr. Pasha King. Please appreciate some of them.
Appreciate them, appreciate them, appreciate them. Thank you very much. God bless you.
These interns, I must tell you, each and every intern you call, you must say one or two things that is good about that person. First on the list, we have the most punctual intern. The most punctual intern is the same. I used to take my children by 7:45 to school, and by 7:15 I will be in radiology department. But believe me, immediately I step in my foot in radiology department, this particular intern, I will meet that person there in radiology department. This particular intern is over here, Lucy Okoro Inena. Please have a clap for her. Aisha will collect the certificate on her behalf.
Ladies and gentlemen,
most disciplined intern in radiology department. Please, Fatima, please come forward. I'm telling you this particular.
Congratulations. Keep it up, keep it up. The next one will be money, who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too busy, I would like to call on stage the most hardworking internal geographer, who is not a person Godwin Emeka, the people like that,
yeah, Godwin Emeka. This guy is very, very strong and hardworking guy. Congratulations, Godwin.
Congratulations.
As usual, every year we are celebrating the World Radiology Day and International Radiographers Day. We find it worthy of celebrating our late brother, our friend, and our mentor in the person of Dr. Sheikh Ali Abubakar. May his soul rest in peace. Amen. This is an initiative of his classmates. The classmate that graduated from University of Maiduguri, one of them is here, Dr. Osman Tijani Aliu. They came together with the friends of late Dr. Shehi to initiate this awards so that he will be remembered and he will be grateful. And it is aimed to be a yearly event. The radiographer of the year, the person of Malan Nafi Mohammed. So the most outstanding radiographer in the Department of Radiology, late Dr. Shehi Ali Abubakar. Congratulations. The doctor in the department. This is the person of Dr. Nafi Umar.
Right, Usman Tikani, most outstanding intern.
Please put hands together for congratulations, brother. Congratulations.
Our next award will go to a senior radiographer who has been my friend since from university days, whom I know very well, who is very, very silent, goal achiever, a mentor, a teacher, a person of Rad, Umar Muhammad, principal radiographer. Please put your hands together. The senior radiographer.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you.
He's as gentle as he's working, right? This is no other than most dedicated radiologist in Kano 2022. The award goes to Dr. Abdullah Idairu, the head of the president. As the most outstanding resident in Kano, the radiology department in Kano State. outstanding residents.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Our photographer, working radiologist in Kano, the person of Dr. Awe Abiodun. Dr. Awe Abiodun.
Please, can we put our hands together for
Dr. Awe around? Okay, please, Dr. Goshi, please, somebody should come and collect it on his behalf. Permit me to call on the most outstanding radiologist in Kano, the person of Dr. Goshi Abubakar.
Please put our hands together for him. Put your hands together for him. Congratulations, sir.
Honestly speaking, I know you're going to the country, you are setting a pace. And we continue to now make that we set a precedent that people who are still looking to us and forward to us still keep the flag flying. Let me borrow the word of Professor Siam. He said that we are married as radiologists and radiographers. So we have to make the marriage work. So let us always clamor on things that bring us together. So we should all try to keep that right so that we long walk in peace and harmony.
We called so many of us here and celebrated them. Some of you do not even understand what they have achieved. Let me start with the consultants, the 3 consultants that from America and that just became consultants, 3 or 4. These young men spent 5 years studying before they now finished and became consultants. And it's not an easy job, please. So I feel that the MCs did not do them justice. These young men read day and night for 5 years, wrote thesis, defended it, wrote an exam twice and passed before they became consultants. And honestly, I don't think the MCs do justice to them, so I think we should appreciate them. The new consultants, to the SRs from National Hospital. I don't know whether you noticed something. Most of them are ladies, married, with children, taking care of husbands. But what? They went, they conquered. That's what they did. And we should appreciate them. We do appreciate them. We appreciate them. Thank you very much.
And then Associate Professor of Radiology, a senior lecturer at Bayero University, Kano, impressive help. Associate Professor Abu Hamisu Kawata. Please let's clap for him. Let's give a round of applause. Please clap. We are giving this award.
Ladies and gentlemen, peace be upon us all. As we have today the International Day of Radiology, I think it's a good thing that we are gathering in order to talk, do the presentations, and then present our awards. But what is most important to me is the getting together, which gives some of us opportunity to interact one-on-one. I can't recall when I see Fuska with a chance, except today, and of course many other people. I would just say one thing as far as radiology practice in Kano is concerned. I think there is a great metamorphosis of radiology practice and also radiology academics in Kano. I can recall when we were residents, the most important thing then was the unison and the unity we exhibited throughout our training. The fact I said my brother, Professor Abbas, I really meant it, because just by the fact that he was our teacher, but we blended very well. We, as younger ones in the practice, we know our limits, we respected them, and so also from the home side, They mentored us well, and then they also blended with us. So that created that sense of belonging in the department. I don't know what is happening now, but I want to say that let us keep this good habit, because you can hardly make a distinction in terms of interaction between the senior and the junior was there. We all blended together, did what we were doing together. I can recall when Professor Swell was buying us lunch. Zainab Lawan, which she said her representative in person of Dr. Rufai Gogo to collect the award on her behalf. Please, can we give a round of applause for her?
Today, as we can see, we are celebrating the World Radiology and Radiography Day, which is an annual event commemorated every year in November, second week of November, in order to get together, discuss issues pertaining radiology and radiography practice, and also to shed light on the evolution of radiology and radiography practice worldwide, and in Nigeria, and in particular in Kano State. As you can see, the gathering here, the hall is full. All the radiographers, different cadre of the radiographers, from the oldest and eldest radiographers to the younger radiographers are here. Even those in academics, they are here. You can also see that the radiologists are also here, from the professors to consultants and to younger radiologists, they are also here. Some of us with even our family to commemorate this annual event. So you can see there are different layers of professionals who are critical stakeholders in radiology and radiography practice in Kano State that are gathered here to commemorate this day.
We are celebrating the grand finale for our International Day of Radiology and World Radiography Day with our lunch stroke dinner.
Wow, this is not the first thing you are hosting today. You hosted so many things.
Yes, we did actually. We had career day. We had a career day where we went and encouraged students in schools. In fact, we went to 2 different schools and they were so happy to see us. And we also had a lecture where we also educated people about what department is about and about radiation in general. Yes, we also had a radio program on Arewa station. So it was really fun. You know, it has been a very educative week for us. And we are finally ending it up with our lunch stroke dinner.
I feel very happy seeing everybody outside the working environment, relaxing, gisting and catching up. It's a nice experience.
I can see you looking like Lucy. Lucy, you're not looking like somebody in white anymore. Mm-hmm. I can see you carrying something.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what this is about?
Okay, I was offered a certificate of a most punctual intern.
Wow.
Yes, presented to me by the World Radiography, ARM.
And the ARM. Yes. That's great. That's great. I feel happy for you.
Thank you.
I feel happy for you. This is a day, a memorable one for you. You'll never forget it.
Yes.
You keep the good work up.
Thank you.
Congratulations
Thank
on
you.
this award.